he drove straight in the back of me, and needs to be man enough to own up to that.
All right, yeah, so we're going to talk about that. But we're also going to talk about Christopher Bell winning, because I feel like whenever he wins, we never talk about Christopher Bell winning. Coming up next. And despite having 7 wins since 2020, 3 playoff appearances, all with Joe Gibbs since he went to Joe Gibbs. Of course, that first year, he was with Levine Family Racing, and no offense to them, they were trying to get better at the time, but they were nowhere near the level of equipment that Joe Gibbs Racing has been. Since he's been with Joe Gibbs Racing, 12th, made the playoffs every year with Joe Gibbs. 12th, 3rd, and a 4th last year, of course, with the tire failure or the brake rotor failure, whatever happened with him last year, ended up 4th. But since he's been with Joe Gibbs, made the playoff every year, and has gone on to at least an additional round. He has not been a round of 16 exit. So why does nobody talk about Christopher Bell when he wins? I couldn't answer you that, but he is 70th on the all-time wins list already in just his 3 seasons and a quarter now. We'll say a quarter, not quite a quarter, with Joe Gibbs Racing. But every time he wins, it feels like there's always a bigger story, or just nobody talks about Christopher Bell. So to start this episode off, I just wanted to give props to Christopher Bell for winning the race and locking himself into the playoffs yet again for another year. And he's got to be on your favorites list to make the Final Four. So kudos to Christopher Bell and all of Toyota, actually. Speaking of which, let's get to that top 10. So kudos to Christopher Bell for winning the race. He won it on Matt Kenseth's birthday. The 20 car wins, the 17 car in second place. So that's an awesome stat given to me by NASCAR fan 93-100. So a good stat there. Christopher Buescher, of course, that 17 car that finished second. Good day for him. Good strategy from RFK getting both cars in the top 5. Baby Gibbs finishes 3rd, and Brad Keselowski, of course, the other RFK car in the top 5 there. Ryan Blaney finishes 5th, and then Ross Chastain, the first Chevrolet there in 6th place. Martin Truex Jr. with that, they went off strategy there, but he recovers to get a 7th place finish. McDriver, Michael McDowell, finishes in 8th place. Chase Briscoe ends up in 9th place in the 14 car, also a strategy move for them. And then Tyler Reddick, of course, there in 10th. James Dennis Allen Hamlin finishes in 11th. Noah Gragson finishes 12th, continues his good start to the season, minus, of course, the points penalty. Daniel Suarez 13th, Kyle Larson 14th, the first Hendrick car. When's the last time there was no Hendrick car in the top 10? I can't remember it personally. And then Carson Josephus Hocevar finishes 15th, continuing to lead the way for the rookies and for Spire Motorsport. All right, so that was the good race, but to open the show, you saw Joey Logano's comments. Here are the full comments right here.
They're around the corner behind me and wrecked us. So it's a shame. We weren't running good at all anyways, but it doesn't make it any better. But just fighting for lucky dogs, which you get back there and everyone's racing not real good, and we are caught up in one.
I know you guys had speed.
He said that on his radio. He said he didn't mean to get into you, but felt like you slowed a bit.
I didn't slow it that. No, I drove in you got to lift to make the corners, Bob. You know, you can't hold it wide open around Phoenix, and maybe he should take a look and realize he can't do that too. He drove straight in the back of me, and needs to be man enough to own up to that.
So you heard that right there. He's obviously not happy with John Hunter Nemecheck. So let's see what John Hunter Nemecheck had to say right here via Jayski. I want to apologize for Joey. Nemechek said, I'm going to reach out to Joey. I probably will reach out to Paul Wolfe and Roger Penske. I guess I misjudged it. I hit the brake pedal pretty hard, and I didn't really slow down. I got into the back of him. It's my fault. I made a mistake, and I've got to learn from it and own it. So it looks like he's taking Joey's advice there, and he's owning it, and he's saying it is his mistake. But with Bristol and Martinsville coming up, Joey Logano is not a man that forgets things. I would not be surprised if Joey Logano sends John Hunter Nemecheck for a ride there at either one of those races, but we'll have to see what happens going forward. But my guess is Joey Logano is going to forgive, but probably not forget, and he's going to give a tap for a tap there if I had to speak it out. But that was not the only actual incident from the race. Erik Jones had a good run going. He qualified 5th or whatever, but was pinched into the wall, and he's putting the blame for that on Chase Briscoe. This via Jayski via front stretch. Erik Jones qualified in the top 5 and ran near the front of the field for the majority of Sunday's Cup event at Phoenix. After the final restart with 92 to go, Chase Briscoe was racing with Jones in the middle of the field. When both drivers got 4 wide, things got tight, and Jones slapped the outside wall, damaging his car and knocking him off the pace for the rest of the day. He finished 31st, 7 laps down. Jones was not happy with Briscoe after the race, and he expressed such frustration with front stretch. The number 14 was dragging us down over and over, restart after restart, Jones said. He put us 4 wide because he's slowing us down so much, and I got wrecked. So it sucks, but he seems to have an issue with me every week. I'll call him this week. He probably won't call back, and I'd love to talk to him. Now, if you go to Front Stretch's website, or YouTube channel, I should say, they do have the response from Chase Briscoe, but I'll go ahead and paraphrase it. But go watch that if you want to see the full response. Chase Briscoe said, yeah, I'll call him back, basically, more or less. So we'll have to see what comes of that. But for the second race in a row, looks like we've got some drama between competitors. And I don't know, it's hard to keep up with all the guys that have an issue with each other this season. So we'll have to see how it plays out going forward here. Those, of course, were not the only drivers that had a bad race. Chevrolet's best finishing driver was 6th place with Ross Chastain, but then the next best finishing Chevrolet driver was 13th, his teammate Daniel Suarez, and the next Chevrolet driver that was a Hendrick driver, which Hendrick has typically carried Chevrolet throughout the history of it being in NASCAR, at least since the 80s, I would say. The best finishing Hendrick car there was 14th with Kyle Larson, and then his teammates were like 18th, 19th, and 20th. So it was a bad day for Chevrolet, especially because this is where the championship race is decided, where it was an extremely good day for Toyota, and that's going to be what a lot of people talk about. I'm not going to jump the gun on that too much because there is a lot of season to go. Ford could figure something out. I'm not as optimistic about Chevrolet, and that's why I say it was a bad day for Chevrolet. They've got 6 or 7 years worth of notes on this particular body style, on this particular nose, so I don't know that they can make this particular generation of the car any better. They're going to need to get that new body into the sport sooner rather than later, but this could be a very bad sign for Chevrolet because I think Ford is going to get faster, and there's a chance that Toyota just gets even faster than it was today because this is the slowest, like I've said all throughout the season, this is the slowest the Toyotas and the Fords will ever be with this current body style that they have. So a bad day for Chevrolet. It was also a bad day for RCR. RCR still does not have that short track package figured out. Kyle Busch struggled all day, and Austin Dillon, well, we don't even know what Austin Dillon had because he got caught up early on, but I can't imagine it was any better than what Kyle Busch had. He got caught up early on once again. It's like if he can make it past the first 10 laps without getting caught up in somebody else's wrecks, Austin Dillon does have good top 15 finishes, but this season and even last season, he has been the king of DNFs, and the other Austin too. Austin Cindric had been off to a good start to this season. He's still top 15 in points, and I guess we'll get to that here in just a minute as well. But a bad race here for Austin Cindric as well. He finishes dead last. So yeah, that's it for bad race. Let's look at the points. Ryan Blaney takes over your lead. Kyle Larson is second there. Martin Truex Jr., William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Ty Gibbs, Ross Chastain, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Daniel Suarez, Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace, Austin Cindric, and Chris Buescher are your 16 that would be in the playoffs if the season ended today. Of course, plenty of season left to go, but Michael McDowell, Erik Jones, Chase Briscoe are your 3 outside looking in, and the aforementioned bad day for Joey Logano, he sits 30th in points despite having the fastest car at the racetrack for several events this season. So although they've had a good start to the season speed-wise, they have not had nearly the finishes they want. And Brad Keselowski, even with that top 5 finish, he is 22nd in points. So there's going to be a lot of points movement because there's a lot of good drivers that are below the cut line right now. So it's going to be really interesting how the points proceed going forward. Speaking of which, all the talk of manufacturers, let's take a quick look at the manufacturers' points as well. And even with their subpar performance here at Phoenix, Chevrolet retains the lead with 151, 10 points above Toyota at 141, and Ford sits at 132. This will actually be really interesting to keep track of going forward as well. All right, that's all I got for you. If you made it this far, I would love to have your subscription. If not, I'll keep making these things. If you're already subscribed, I appreciate you guys as well. Got a question, comment, or anything like that, leave it down in the comment section. I try to get to as many of them as I can throughout the week. And if you want to help out the channel, the merch store, the link for that is in the description. Sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats, and stickers, and maybe some other stuff coming soon. Maybe some tank tops for the summertime. And yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for your time. Peace.